What's the big deal? Why would you protest, or why do you afraid somebody's going to take your gun? What's happening here?
Well, we hear that a lot, Ed, that no one's coming to take your guns. That's what we're afraid of. But really, it's just about, the Founding Fathers said that freedom isn't free and that the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. And that's really all it's about. We're being vigilant here.
Vigilant? You're barely conscious.
And we're seeing some things that are concerning. We don't believe that people are going to come door to door and necessarily take our guns. But there are things that come through legislation that many Americans aren't necessarily aware of.
Like?
That we're keeping an eye on. And,
Okay, so you're aware that President Obama has an F rating from the Brady Foundation.
Well, yeah, a lot of people say that Obama has done more for gun ownership than many of the presidents in the past. Certainly, gun ownership has soared in the last year.
Why is that?
Well, I'm not exactly sure. I think that there was some fear that firearms would be taken away. I think that some people were afraid of the change taking place.
Like?
And knowing the fact from his Chicago record, coming from Chicago, that he didn't support. What he's saying isn't reflecting what he's actually done. At every turn in Chicago, he was anti-firearm, anti-freedom. So they're not really believing the rhetoric.
You think that President Obama's anti-gun, anti-freedom?
Well, I'm looking at his voting record just in Chicago. So
you think he's anti-freedom?
Well, that's not exactly what I said. At every turn in Chicago, he was anti-firearm, anti-freedom. At every turn in Chicago, he was anti-firearm, anti-freedom. So they're not really believing the rhetoric.
You think that President Obama's anti-gun, anti-freedom?
Well, I'm looking at his voting record just in Chicago. So you think
he's anti-freedom?
Well, that's not exactly what I said, but
that's what I'm asking. I wanted you to clarify it. You don't think he's anti-freedom, do you?
Well, I don't want to be cornered into saying something like that.